Probably should have worn the shirt that I had for this review, but I honestly hadn't planned on recording it today. This is a spur of the moment thing. But first album review in a month, because I know I haven't recorded since MERS. Stevie Stone, Malta Bend. Now, Stevie Stone is actually my favorite artist on Strange, not counting Tech Nine, but Stevie Stone is my favorite on the label for the simple fact that he's very diverse with the music he does, and he does wide ranges of things on every project he produces, and he does a wide variety of things when he gets featured. He'll sing a hook, rap a verse, and will do a wide range of stuff with the music that goes on his own albums, sentimental, hard hitting, hardcore, like gangster tracks, the club jams, the kind of R&B type records. He does it all, and the majority of the time, like it's done fairly well. His first album was Strange. Actually, let me grab them. His first album was Strange Rolling Stone. Prior to this, to me, this was his best work. The follow up, Two Birds, One Stone. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this, but thought it was still kind of a notch below what he did on his Strange debut. And now we come to the current, Malta Bend. And it's almost in his words a concept album because it's telling like the story of pretty much, you know, how he grew up in his hometown of Malta Bend. It's how he grew up, the kind of stuff that he got into um, while he was in town, and his struggles, like things he got into, and that's the kind of stuff that I really do in enjoying albums. And I mentioned this when I reviewed Moses Have a Nice Life. This is the kind of stuff I enjoy from artists when they try to do the good storytelling type of stuff. And to me, it always tends to turn out, in most cases, an artist's best work that they do solo. And that's essentially the case here because to me, this is his best project to me out of what he's released on Strange. Bear in mind, I didn't hear the album that he did have on Ruthless. I didn't hear that, but out of what he's put out with Strange, counting his EP, this is his best project to me. And it's because it's just a wide variety of the music in the story he's telling. You have the club songs like Rain Dance with Tech Nine and Mystical, which is actually a pretty good club song when you look at it, if you can get past how ridiculously hilarious Mystical's verse is. Then you have, let me see here, Fall in Love with It, which is actually one of my favorite songs. I always tend to love the most the R&B songs that he puts on the albums, and it's no exception here because I love the kind of like hip hop bounce club beat of the song. The hook is real nice, and of course the verses are superb in that trademark Stevie Stone, like that the rasp that I love in his, and that's what I love is like you can always tell when Stone is on track because it's his raspy, unique voice that kind of gives it a sort of edge that brings life into all his verses, and it's especially true here with the story that he's attempting to tell throughout the album. Just gonna go through some of the highlights. The title track "Malta Bend" with Tyler Lyon, who you may know if you listen to Tech Nine albums religiously. Tyler Lyon's had a couple features on from since Something Else and then Strangulation, and he turns up here for a beautiful, beautiful hook, beautifully sung hook, and Stone in between stones, reminiscing verses of his family, his mom, and how and growing up in this town of Malta. It's one of the most beautiful songs on the album, and actually the whole last fourth of the album are some of the most beautiful songs that I've ever heard out of his Three Strange albums, from Suicidal to the outro of Just Getting Started. Those are some of the most hard hitting, personal, and emotional songs on the album, and it kind of excuse me, and it really does kind of tie up the ends of from like how the album starts and kind of like it starts with the tone of like I'm on this grind to struggling, but I'm on the grind trying to get where I need to be, to the end of the album was kind of looking back on everything and saying kind of like, wow, this is what I've managed to do, and I still got a whole lot more to do. And the other one major highlight is the boss track with Kevin Gates. Now, Kevin Gates is one of those dudes that I've heard music from them. I hate what he's put out, and I expect to hate every song he jumps on from one of my favorite artists. This is the notable exception here because I actually like Gates' verse on this song. All the verses are nice on the song. The only downside to it is the hook is kind of, at least to me, terrible. But that's a small personal thing on a very, very dope track that honestly I expected to full out hate. But there's not really a whole lot left to say. Like I said, to me this is his best project to me solo, because you have a mix of like all the different sounds that you hear in like underground and mainstream hip hop. The club songs like Rain Dance, Fall in Love with It, Get Effed Up. No, I'm still not gonna curse in these videos. The those songs that'll make you just that'll make those get up and make you want to do something songs like Run It, I'm So Epic, another highlight for me, Ambition and Motivation, and then like I said, the personal songs like Legacy, Suicidal, Malta Bend. It's a mix of stuff, and that's the type of stuff I love, is just a mix of different emotions, vibes, and then top it all off with this beautiful storytelling that he's doing throughout the album. And it's definitely, to me, one of 2015's highlights. But give it a listen. Let me know what you guys think, and